students, a very good evening to all. Today we have another important session on how to convert your work into a publishing or a patent mode. We have the eminent speaker, Dr. B. Ratna Sunil. He received his bachelor degree in mechanical engineering from Andhra University and master's degree from Usmania University. He earned his PhD from IIT Madras in 2014 in the field of biomaterials. He has 15 years of experience in teaching and research in the areas of materials engineering, manufacturing processes, and surface engineering as well. Dr. Sunil has been listed in World Top 2% Scientist announced by Stanford University, USA, consecutively for the last 6 years, from 2020 to 2025. He has published more than 150 Scopus papers in international peer-reviewed journals and authored a book titled Surface Engineering by Friction-Assisted Process Methods, Materials and Applications. From the research findings, Dr. Sunil has filed 24 Indian patents and 4 UK patents. He received several awards as well, including Sudarshan Bhatt Memorial Best PhD Thesis Award from IIT Madras and Bajpai Saha Award from the Society of Biomaterials and Artificial Organs India in 2012. He is also an associate fellow of Andhra Pradesh Academy of Sciences, India. We are very glad as we have Dr. B. Ratna Sunil with us. Sir, Ratna Sunil sir, over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you for your introduction and the opportunity given for me to present the talk. First, I would like to thank the organizers of the FDP. Sir, shall I share my presentation?
Yes, sir. Please continue, sir.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Is it visible, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Okay, thank you. So, welcome all of you. This afternoon, hopefully it is evening, I think there. Yeah, it would be evening. So the title of the talk is The Path of Academic Research to Patenting and Publishing. So as introduced, my background is mechanical engineering. However, I worked more on materials engineering and especially biomedical engineering. Today, I would like to present briefly about two important specific topics that every academician, particularly working in the field of engineering and other allied courses, the publications and patenting. So not only for teaching and research, even for the recognition of the institutes and universities, now publications and patents have become very important elements in the evaluation process. So therefore, as an organization, both publications and patents are also very important. So individually, when we contribute something to the publications and patents, as academicians, we build our profile and we build our knowledge levels. At the same time, we are contributing to the recognition of the institutes and universities where the organizations where we are working. So in this connection, today I would like to briefly present these two topics, publications and the patents, how we can increase. Probably some of you have already published a few scientific papers in indexed journals, and some of you have already filed patents. However, I consider myself as giving a talk to interested academicians who would like to know even few more points further in connection with the publications and patenting. So the outline of the presentation includes publications of scientific papers and the process, and then we will see some of the IPR concepts, intellectual property rights, and how we can file patent, the procedure, some typical cases also I would like to discuss to practically encourage all of you. So why we do research? So if we see, research is a part of our day-to-day life. So we cannot separate, we cannot divide away research from us. So every day, for every small act of work that we do research internally. But it is not a scientific research for publications or patenting. But basically, we do a lot of research in all aspects. If you want to buy one small mobile, or if you want to buy one bike, one article, or some any electronic device, so we do a lot of research, we compare, and we prepare ourselves in our mind, benefits and limitations, all right. So the research is also same. This explores new information in the field, and we try to compare, and we try to provide new solutions for the existing problems. We invent new things, or else with the existing knowledge we contribute to add additional knowledge. So all these are the essential elements of research. Therefore, it is not a new term, or else it is not a new aspect. So then when it comes to the academic research, especially in science and technology, most of you, I believe, are working in scientific departments or scientific disciplines in engineering and technology fields. So why do we need research? Why we should do research? We will see some statistics later, interestingly. So how the developed countries are sustaining the levels of their supremacy through research. So if you consider maybe around 50 years back or 40 years back, you can see here the computer of, it's like a size of a locomotive, like a a railway engine, or maybe it's like we can compare with one classroom size. From that size, now we have evolved up to where the mobile that I have in my hand, this can perform even more operations than the then computer 40, 50 years back. This is only because of the research and development, truly. And when it comes to, you can see the telecommunications revolution, where we have trunk call booking technology, and now we are able to not only speak, we are able to share the large size files, video files, through mobiles. And not only speaking, now we are able to call from far away distances through video calling. See how now we are able to conduct this online FDP because of all the research developments in telecommunications field. You can compare here one example. In 1980s, the IBM 3380 storage system, you can see here, just for 20 GB, it's for like $648, the cost of the storage device, you can see here. Now we can see even for 32 GB space, even not $100, even further. And when it comes to recent years, you can see in large space of data we can save in small devices at a very cheaper price. So that is the result of research and development again. If we are familiar, if we have any orthopedic issues or any fractured organs or fractured bones, particularly in India, especially in Telugu states, some places are very famous. They used to travel to these places to fix their fractured bones, right? Using only bamboo sticks outside to support the fractured bone. Now we see we have evolved from such a old and crude old methods to replacing the entire organs, replacing the entire joints, total joint replacement technologies because of research and development. There are a lot of examples from steam engine to the present electric car and high-speed race cars, right? So these are all the examples of the evolution that we have seen in research and development. Here you can see the statistics. Of course, this is up to 2023. You can see here the nature index of overall publishing country-wise. You can compare here, compared with the 2022, how the 2023 the statistics have been changed. Overall, you can see different countries and how they are performing in research world. Particularly, this is identified by research publications. Nature, every year they announce these nature index. You can see here China, United States, Germany, UK, Japan. You can see here India also, right? What is the one observation we can make here? China and United States. And what are the top countries now in the world globally in technologically, in defense, in software, medicine, agriculture, you name anything, any area, you will find there are two giant nations. One is United States, another one is China. How China is competing with United States? If you see the recent economics and the recent trade war between the United States and China, how China, being a country similar to the country like India around 50, 60 years back, the GDP for India and China are more or less same few years back. But now we can see China is able to compete with the United States because of the development, because of their research outcome, because of their innovations, because of their technological advancements. Those things you can see from the statistics of the research publications. Clearly, the research publications reflect the technological development advancement of the respective country. You can see here China and the US, and you just name randomly top 10 developed countries which are having technological achievements or scientific achievements in terms of new inventions or in terms of new businesses, new companies or new products. You name 10 companies, you will find these names: Germany, UK, Japan, France, Canada, South Korea, right? How the development of the country and the technological advancement in the country is related with the publications we can see here, right? Compared with these developed countries, recently India is also performing very well, relatively very well. You can see India is also in top 10 publishing countries, and technologically also we are doing a lot of great things compared with the developed countries. However, we may not be in a position to compete with US or China, but still we are in top 10 technologically evolving countries. That is one fortunate thing you can. So you can see here the statistics explain that the research and development contributes the development of the country. That's why research is essential. And when it comes to research, we can see academic research and industrial research. In academic research, since we are dealing with academic research today, academic research, the quantity of research, the quality of research is measured not only in academics, in industry also, by publications and intellectual property rights. Now we will see some basic concepts about publications and some suggestions to publish good papers, and then we'll move on to IPR. So why do we need to do research? Technological development, what we have learned, and solving health issues, addressing ecological challenges and social issues, and understanding society, human relations, economics, everything you can include. So day-to-day human life development, if you measure the quality of human life, because of the research and development, only now we are able to see the possibility of unimaginable things 10 years back, 15 years back, that the people who lived maybe 3 decades or 4 decades back, even they could not imagine the kind of technologies that we are now enjoying in our present generation. Okay, that is only because of research. Quickly, I'll move on to cover the necessity of research publications. So, okay, we will carry out research work, and then why we should publish? Why don't we keep our research with us? So that is the big issue. Being an ancient nation, India, facing is in now also. The problem is our ancestors, our forefathers, they knew a lot of technologies, they knew a lot of solutions to the problems that we are facing now from the naturally derived solutions, but they failed to record them properly. And some of the technologies have been recorded, but they failed to pass on to the next generations. So they kept as a secret to their families, or they kept as a secret to their heirs. So that is the reason why we see the loss of a lot of technical scientific data is lost from our ancient forefathers. So that's why the documentation is very important for the development of the science and technology in any society. So first important reason why we should publish is proper documentation. And the second thing is maintaining the state of the art. If we don't know what is the current technological development in a specific field globally, we cannot have competing development compared with those countries. Therefore, to maintain the state of the art in our society, in our country, we need to publish the research results, publish the research content to avoid repeating of research. For example, if some group is working on a specific technology, if some other group is working far away in the same technology, it is a duplication of work. Or else, if somebody has already proven some principle, or somebody already has developed some technology and working on the same technology and trying to produce some product out of the same technology is a waste of money, waste of time, because already somebody has proved it, somebody has developed the product from the same principle. Therefore, you can avoid the repeating of the research work. That's why you can see for the past 100 years how much technology we have developed that is now being developed within 10 years because of the availability of the research findings, availability of the knowledge. Based on that, the new knowledge will be contributed, the new research findings will add to the additional existing knowledge to progress with this much speed. So contributing to the existing knowledge and the source to solve other issues. For example, sometimes we may work for solving a specific problem. Maybe the solution will become a perfect solution for another problem, so that we don't know. Bronson discovered X-rays not for medical applications. If you remember the history, Bronson discovered the X-rays not for the medical applications. Randomly, he was out of interest. He was doing research and he found the new phenomena of the electromagnetic spectrum and he named it as some X-rays. But later on, the same X-rays were used for material applications, medical applications, and flaw detections in industry, quality management, etc. A lot of applications, right? So that's why the research outcome of in one area may help to solve other problem of a different area that we may not imagine now when we are working it. So that's why documentation and publishing of research findings is very important for the scientific community and reduces time, energy, and money for new research areas. So when I'm working in a particular technology, for example, development of some medical implants, so unnecessarily the spending huge amount of money and time to start from the scratch, it can be reduced by following the documented publications from the available technologies. So when it comes to academic career, this is the important, whether the globally the societies are improving or the countries are competing, who nobody cares. But when it comes to academicians, for us, for me, I should have my career growth. uh, 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 Therefore, I should publish. So in academics, how we measure the contribution of a faculty, contribution of an academician to the university or to the students or to the society, what kind of scale we use to measure through research publications, maybe articles, papers, or patents, etc. That's why, so for every academicians now, getting research publications, getting patents has become very important. Now, where do we publish? So hopefully, I believe many of you have already published one or two of these journals of these publishers. But anyway, one slide quickly I would like to present here. So usually we publish in journals, periodicals, and magazines, in books or book chapters, in articles, in some magazines. Usually these journals or periodicals or magazines, books are published by scientific societies, something like Biometal Society, something like IEEE, or Society for Artificial Organs, or Society for Corrosion Engineering, or American Chemical Society, or Royal Chemical Society, like that. ASME, right? ASTM. We have a lot of societies. So they run their own publications. We publish our research findings in those recognized societies, publications, and commercial publishers. There are some companies, business companies, commercially they do this publishing work. For example, like Elsevier is a commercial publisher. Springer is a commercial publisher, like Till and Francis, like John Wiley. These are some examples of commercial publishers. So we publish in their books and their journals. And universities, some universities, they run their own publications, like books and periodicals and journals. So, for example, like Oxford University Press, Cambridge University Press. So, like that, some universities, they run their own journals and publications. So we books we publish in university run journals or books, and some laboratories also they run their own data publications, so we can publish our research in those periodicals also. So when it comes to publications, so my suggestion is, so always you try to see with the globally renowned publishers. So now, because of publishing has become one of the important element in academics, and all universities and all organizations, they are now after publications. Now there are a lot of companies they award, particularly India. You believe that India is the top most fake publishing hub. More than 54, if I'm not wrong, 54 or 52, more than 52% of the fake publications or fake journals are from India. Are you surprised? Right? So more than half of the fake publications in the entire globe, they are from the Indian fake websites and Indian fake book publishing companies. So you will receive one day a mail that this is so and so journal you publish, 1500 rupees is the APC processing charge. So if you submit some scrap, some data, the next day you will receive a mail that your paper got accepted, pay 2000 rupees. So these are the journals what we call predatory journals. They are not at all scientific journals. They are sitting somewhere and they're running some websites, and they send mails randomly to whatever the emails available in online, and they do business. For every PDF file they upload in their website, they charge 2000 rupees and they call some paper. And many genuine researchers, they published their genuine research data in these predatory fake journals, and unnecessarily they lost their data. Once the data is available, whether it is a predatory journal or any online document is available in the internet, then gone, your data is gone. If you want to repeat the same data in another journal, it will come under plagiarism, right? Self plagiarism. So therefore, don't choose any unknown random publishers. Only choose best publishers, and check their website, and check in the database also. I will show you a couple of slides regarding that. And from the database you identify the genuine publishers, then only you submit. Otherwise, unnecessarily your hard the data that you generated by your hard work, spending a lot of time, will be like vanished without any recognition. Okay, so choose always best journals, which with at least minimum scope of journals associated with the best publishers. So why do we need to do research and publish in academics? So when it comes to teaching, for example, if I am teaching 20 years or 40 years old subject, for example, I'm teaching now the design of mechanisms. So design of mechanisms is a well-known subject for 40, 50 years. For example, if I'm teaching iron carbide diagram is more than 100 years it is being taught in the academics, right? So then how students pay attention, or else how I can deliver a good knowledge to the students in the same field, unless if I have some research element in the same field where I am teaching. For example, if I do some knowledge about steels in my research, therefore I can interestingly teach the students, coupling the latest developments in the steels along with the already established content in the specific topic. So therefore, teaching and research, they should go hand in hand. Then only the students will get benefited, and we also justify ourselves to the teaching assignment that we are doing, and teaching quality. So obviously now you will find more than us, there are a lot of best videos available online. If you just open YouTube, you will find any topic, you type any topic. During our graduation, there was no internet at all, there was no computer at all. Therefore we actually we relied only on the textbooks, we relied only on the lectures delivered by the professors in the classrooms. But now you will find a lot of audio video supported lectures online. In this juncture, then why students should sit in the class and should listen your lecture? Because with audio and video aids, with animation, clearly lot of videos are available online. They will understand the concept visually by looking at these videos, by reading or by watching these videos online. The same concept physically in the classroom, when we explain on board, then why should students stay in the class and they should listen? Sometimes we face the same questions. Sometimes they ask, doctor, we are preparing this problem by watching YouTube videos like that. Then what is their new thing that we teach in the class? Of course, we cannot avoid the conventional classroom teaching, but if we have some latest developments from the research of our own area, that will inspire, that will at least excite the students to stay back in the class and to listen something in addition to the old content, the new content. That's why for every faculty must involve in research, especially in academics. Of course, it is tedious compared with the previous life cycle, but it will reward after our hard work. So updating the subject knowledge is possible if we are active in research, and recognitions and accreditations and rankings are all now part of the research is a part of all these important tasks. And another thing is career growth. How anybody measures the contribution of an academician. Teaching, anybody can teach. Those who are having a couple of years experience in a specific subject, they can teach a number of times, 10 years or 15 years, the same subject again and again. How I can measure the success of a faculty or the success of an academician? What is the scale? Now, the research outcomes like publications or patents are the measuring scale for the contribution of an academician. Therefore, at the end, for all, we need career growth. Therefore, definitely, we should publish. We should do patent. So, publish to progress. If you don't publish, there is nobody else other than me or myself or yourself, except us. There is no one who is going to show interest about us, right? So as long as we want to stay in academics, so we should have some involvement in research and some contributions in the form of publications. So quickly I will show here the types of papers, different research papers. We starts with technical notes from smaller to the huge view. So when it comes to technical notes, it starts with the presentation of a small software tool or some small outcome of the experimental work or some computational method or some procedure or some hardware design. So it is limited to a few words, 1000 to 1500 words. We cannot say pages because some people they keep 1.5 line spacing and some they keep 1 line spacing. So usually we define with the number of words. So if 1000 to 1500 words, if you are able to write an innovative work, that is what we call technical note with simple 1 to 2 figures or tables. When it comes to short communication or letters, these are also considered as papers. Technical note itself is also considered as a paper. And short communications, some innovative work, new ideas or first-hand result or some controversial opinions also. So if we get some stunning results from our experiments or some our analysis or some from data study, this is not the completion of the project, actually completion of the overall objectives, but we have first hand of results. So nobody has observed such kind of phenomena, nobody has reported such kind of data, but we want to get the credit for this. Then short communications are the best optimum way of publishing. Short communications, some journals they call as letters also. So they are like usually less than 2000 words with the 4 to 5 figures or tables. Okay, so publishing short communication is very simple if you have a very good data and innovative outcome results. Many journals they give very quickly the decision. Within 1 month they will give the decision of acceptance or rejection or any revision comments. So the speed is very high compared with regular papers. Next comes the usual research articles. So these are the general articles, research articles or full papers we can call, usually more than 3000 words with an appropriate number of figures, something like 6-7 figures to even sometimes even 20 figures also we keep sometimes in research articles. Next comes the review articles. The first three category of papers are the own papers, our own papers based on our own research work, based on the data analysis that we have. The fourth category is review article, where we try to summarize or else we give systematic review of the existing knowledge. Usually that will be more than 4000 words with the appropriate number of figures and tables. So we choose any of these four types of papers that will be counted as a scientific publication. So we choose based on the data quality, the quantity, or else if you don't have any data, you can work out reviewing a specific topic in connection with your area or the upcoming new area. We can push a review article also. When it comes to indexing, several times we come across these terms: SCI, Scopus, right? So people very often they use Web of Science, right? So basically there are number of indexing databases worldwide. So among them there are two important databases. One is Web of Science. Now it is maintained by Clarivate Analytics company. Earlier it was like with Thomson Reuters. Now it is with Clarivate Analytics. So they have purchased Thomson Reuters this database, this Web of Science. In Web of Science we have three different lists: Science Citation Index, what we call SCI. Later they revised and they added a few more journals. Science Citation Index expanded, SCIE, and then another group of journals which are also included in Web of Science, but they are not part of the Science Citation Index or expanded data. So they are like emerging sources citation index. That means these are the journals, new journals, based on the evaluation criteria, they will be qualifying to certain level where they can include in the Web of Science list. Very soon they may become Science Citation Index expanded, right? So that means, so there are basically three different types of indexes in Web of Science. Now I think by this time they might have completed, or very soon they are going to revise this division also. They are going to revise into two basic divisions: the overall Web of Science master journal list. That is about Web of Science. So a Science Citation Index journal, SCI journal, is by default a Web of Science indexed journal. Web of Science is the database. In Web of Science, SCI is one indexing, SCIE is another indexing, and ESCI, Emerging Sources Citation Indexing, is another indexing. Therefore, by default, SCI is Web of Science and SCIE is Web of Science, but Emerging Sources Citation Index is not SCI, but it is Web of Science, right? So when you say Web of Science, in Web of Science, what is the indexing? That is another question that we should know. Okay. By default, if you publish in SCI, anyway, that will become a Web of Science master journal. Therefore, it is also can be considered as Web of Science journal. So this difference you should understand. All Web of Science journals are not SCI journals. All SCI journals are by default Web of Science journals. Okay. Now we'll move to the second well-known database is Scopus. Now this was acquired by the Elsevier company. Now Elsevier is maintaining the Scopus database. Scopus database is the second level of database compared with the Web of Science, because the selection procedure, the criteria for any journal to be included in the database is slightly different for Scopus system. Therefore, compared with the Web of Science, Scopus system has more journals, more number of journals. So if any journal is indexed in Scopus, that's it. So it has only one indexing called Scopus indexing. So worldwide, globally, these are the two indexes. One is Web of Science, another one is Scopus. They are the two well-known indexes. Every university, every organization recognize. Therefore, whenever you are publishing your journal, you try to check what is the journal indexed in Web of Science or Scopus. You check, and based on the requirement, you proceed. If any journal is not in Web of Science or Scopus, that means that is not recognized by most of the universities or most of the organizations, because these two are the important databases, indexing databases, where every university, every organization will recognize. Now we'll move on to quickly research publications topics. A couple of minutes I will spend here, and I will quickly move on. So first, you choose an interested area. If you really want to publish, and if you increase your profile, choose one interest area, mostly where you will feel comfortable, mostly similar to your field, your specialization. It does not mean that you should do research in your specialization only. No problem. If you have interest, you can integrate the upcoming technologies with your research field. Or else, if you're really interested, you can start newly right now whatever the upcoming area, in that area a research topic, like AI applications, or maybe machine learning applications, nanotechnology, or medical applications, whatever the field you are working in. So you can club these upcoming topics with your research area, and you can start. understand the state of the art, what are the so far available information. You read a couple of review papers, easily you will come to know, and identify some missing, some need, or identify some problem, some gap somewhere. You can contribute something. So if you read a couple of papers, you will come to know, review papers, you will come to know what is the area. If you read the real research papers, few research papers, then you will come to know, is there any possibility that you can contribute, any possibility that you can work out on unknown phenomena, or unsolved issue, or anything that you can develop further little more. So identify what is missing or the problem, and propose some solution, or explain the phenomena, unknown phenomena, or unexplored phenomena. Give some solutions, and prove, validate, and present the existing results or your observations. And then the first my session is, you go for non-disclosure publications, like IPR, intellectual property rights, what we call them as non-disclosure publishing. That means it is not disclosed to public early, right? So once you disclose in the form of rights, then you can disclose as a public document by publishing in journals. So this is how you can plan. Anyway, I have discussed a few points. I'm skipping these slides. Okay. Yeah, when it comes to publications, so I suggest, if you have a good research data, you first choose IPR, intellectual property rights, where we call non-disclosure publications. Once you secure the property rights, then you can disclose it openly, publicly, by publishing in journals. So usually what happened, this is the tendency. So we will have some kind of excitement from the results of our research data. Immediately we'll try to publish in journals. So the same mistake several times I have done long back. So therefore, if you have some kind of good research data, immediately you should file a patent out of it, apply the patent, and then secure your rights, and then you make it public, the results or the research findings public as a journal paper or a conference, then that is fine. But if you make it public by publishing in journals or conferences, proceedings, then if it is available online, that no longer that will be a non-disclosure data. So it is publicly available, therefore we will lose our right to file a patent from such work. Okay. So it will be difficult. You can try, but it will be difficult. So if such kind of good data if you have, I suggest first you go for IPR is easy compared with publications. Truly, you can file a patent, and then the same data you can use and you can publish in good journals. Okay. So preparing research articles, quickly I will spend a couple of minutes here. So usually this is the research article, research paper, any field you take: mechanical engineering, computer science, civil engineering, electrical, electronics, business, agriculture, nano, you take anything. Usually this is the structure of the research paper. So it starts with abstract, so that explains in a nutshell what exactly the paper is dealing with. Then it gives a brief introduction, where you will explain the background little, and the novelty of the present work, and the objectives in introduction, and methodology, explain details, and modeling, studies, everything. So that comes the third part. So where you will give the complete information to the reader, therefore the reader should be able to repeat it. So such sufficient information we will provide in this section. And then results and discussion. So based on the obtained results, what are the our observations, and what are the findings? So new points that we discuss in results and discussion, and then we conclude the overall part of the work, our research paper. So this is the typical structure of a research paper. And then follows acknowledgements, funding statements, conflict of interests, etc., other statements. Okay. And then references. So usually people, when they have research data, they start writing research paper from abstract to the references in this structure, in this sequence. But I present you my way of writing paper, where this will be like I don't say this is the optimum, but this is the best thing what I found compared with the traditional flow of the structure. So when we have research data, first collect all research data from the research problem, the project that we are working. You collect all the data and arrange that entire data in a beautiful illustrations, tables, and figures, charts. That means by looking at these charts and tables, we should be able to understand what we have done, what is the outcome in our mind itself. Visually, we should see, right? So first collect the data and arrange data presentation, arrange the data, and then critically discuss the data in the form of the plots, charts, or tables that you are presenting point by point. You write the discussion points, and then build this discussion by the support of previously published articles or previously published data, or the basic fundamental concepts which are already established in the respective area. So you build the discussion, you from the results, from the points, you build complete discussion. Okay, then you write the conclusions from the observations. What are the conclusions you have done, what you can make, right? So those conclusions, you finish it. After conclusions, then you give the methodologies, procedures, or data collection and or analysis strategies or sequences what we have applied, all those data required for anybody, any new person, if he comes to this field, he if you would like to work on this topic. So with this data, you should be able to start his research, and you should be able to do the same kind of experiments and should get similar kind of results. So such a way you give complete information here. You prepare that materials, methods, procedures, modeling, analysis, everything, and then you write the abstract and acknowledgement. Okay, so this is the sequence of paper structure, how I prepare. So this way you can have a complete view of your paper, and you can finish it very quickly compared with conventional structure follow. Okay, so this will be helpful. And then at the end you add the references. So at the end, whatever the relevant references, in order to justify the discussion or the introduction that we have written, or for the methods references, you add at the end. So this is the structure how you can follow. Anyway, acknowledgements and all these are the data anywhere you can keep at the end of the paper preparation. And guidelines to submit a paper. So select appropriate journal, prepare a good covering letter. So when it comes to covering letter, don't spend too much time on covering letter. Believe me, one covering letter, the same covering letter I am using for my entire career. So simply I will change the journal name, the title, and what the paper discusses in the covering letter. Remaining all will be the same. I change the date, and at the bottom, my address and details will be the same. So don't spend too much time on covering letter. Our covering letter will not judge the decision of the editors of the journal about our paper. Okay, so one decent covering letter is enough. The same letter again and again you can use only by changing the targeted editor and the journal name, date, and the title. And after that, one sentence that states what is the innovative work in that paper. So that's it. So this is the format of the covering letter, that is enough. And some journals, they ask in their own format as per their journal style, and prepare the list of reviewers. You give good reviewers. No need of giving the known person. Sometimes journals, they don't care, right? So if you give good reviewers, then automatically the quality of the comments will be good. And you always keep that 50% of the references should be last 5 years. If you keep even last 2-3 years, it is even far better, because journals always try to see in the references the recent citations, recent references. So prepare clear self-explanatory illustrations, figures, and sometimes when I review a lot of journal papers, I see one common comment, I give them. So the figures are not clear, the legends are not clear, the labels, the text, the numbers in the figure or in the chart are not clear. It should be readable. Therefore, we prepare beautiful illustrations with a large font size, good color contrast. Okay, and then the flow and the readability should be good. That's about some suggestions for writing good paper and publishing. Now, quickly we'll move on to IPR, and I would like to spend a few minutes here. What is intellectual property? So it deals with any basic construction of human intelligence, such as artistic, literary, technical, or scientific constructions. So intellectual property rights. So this will give us rights over such a intellectual property. So when we call property, it does not it should be a physical property. That's why we call it as intellectual property. It is like sometimes invisible. sometimes, right? Sometimes it is visible and sometimes it is invisible. So as per the World Intellectual Property Organization definition, so IPR can be defined as literary, artistic, and scientific works, inventions in all fields of human endeavor, scientific discoveries, industrial designs, trademarks, service marks, and commercial names and designations, protection against unfair competition, and all the other rights resulting from intellectual activity in the industrial, scientific, literacy, or scientific fields. It's a big definition, but one thing we can understand. So this entire thing is the intellectual property rights is IPR is related with the intellectual creative properties protection. So these rights will give us the protection for the intellectual creativity and the invisible capacity that I have built. Okay. And nature of intellectual property, these are some points we can quickly skip. So intangible rights over tangible property. The tangible properties are like physical properties, like a book or like a gold ornament or land or building. Intangible rights means invisible, invisible, right? So the copyright or the patent or the intangible rights on a property, on a book, on the physical technology product that I develop, right? So rights to use, I will have a complete right to use. Rights and duties, I will have some rights to exhibit my work and to make copy of my work and to alter my work. And coexistence of different rights, I can have different rights at the same time. And exhaustion of rights, I can sell my rights completely to somebody else. And dynamism, so IPR is in process of continuous development, so I can even improve it, I can even develop it. So I suggest academic research outcome, you first always try to go with IPR, filing a patents or copyrights or design, registration, and then the same work we can go for publications also. So why we should promote IPR? For the same reasons, why we should publish. So some points here, just I'll skip. Here you can see here the different types of IPR in India. So we have patent. Most of the countries will have similar kind of IPR. We have patent is one intellectual property right, trademark is another right, copyright, plant, breeder's right, and utility model design, geographical indication, and trade secrets. So these are the IPRs, the rights connected with the intellectual properties in India. So if you see copyright, basically, I'm not going in depth. So copyright law deals with the protection and exploitation of the expression of ideas in a tangible form. Tangible form means physical form. I can write a book, I can copyright it. Okay, I can compose a music piece and I can copyright it. I can write a poetry, I can copyright it. I can paint and I can copyright it. Okay, so this is like a literacy, dramatic, musical, and artistic works can be I can go for copyright. If you see the symbol C encapsulated in a circle, that is the copyright symbol. Many books you will see this copyright by the publishers. And when it comes to patents, patent is it recognizes the exclusive rights of patent holder to derive commercial benefits from his invention. It should be some invention. That's why in the patent applications, the examiners, they look for innovative and the application. So it should be innovative, some kind of invention should be there, new thing, and it's I have some idea, I want to patent. No, you should be having some application also. So inventive step it should be, and it should has application also. So then only we can patent. So anything. So when it comes to the application point of view, it can be a service, it can be a product, or it can be a small software piece also can be patented, right? And it should have some inventive step. Directly software code you cannot patent. Using that code, if you are able to perform on task using a small a device or a small element, a small member of some kind of structure, that you can patent. So directly software code you cannot patent. Right? And when it comes to trademark, so trademark is a badge of origin that represents that company. So trademark can be a word, a phrase, a symbol, a logo, right? Even one sentence also can be a trademark. One sentence also, a phrase also can be a trademark. And geographical indications. So these are associated with the names of a particular geographical region. For example, like Nilgiri orthodox, Nilgiri coffee, or else Assam tea, or else Darjeeling tea. So like even our Kondapalli toys. Okay, so these are like associated with the location. So that product. So that is geographical indication what we call. And industrial designs. So these are the designs or the appearance of components or parts. So many times people get confused with the industrial design and the patent. Patent is like with a specific application. When you define the functioning, then we can call that as a utility. For utility, then we can call that as utility patent. When it comes to design, even design also we call as design patent, but it does not show any functionality in the component. It only shows the appearance. It only shows how it is appeared. For example, you can see here the bottle design, or the design of a fridge or the car. For example, the design of this car you can patent. Design, you can register the design. You can call that as design patent also. Maybe the floor machine, right? So these are the designs, what we call them as a registration of designs. If you see the trends in the previous years, up to 2022, you can see considerable growth in the patent filing in Indian scientific community. You can see the growth, patent filing and the patent, the number of patents which were granted against the filed applications. And you can see the trends in patent applications. It is keep on increasing. How many number of patents filed and examined and granted. Now the patent office is also working rigorously to increase the number of patents filing and publications. And earlier it usually takes 4 to 5 years earlier. Now they are speeding up the process, and we are able to get patents in 2 to 3 years, sometimes even 6 months also. That is also quite normal now. And if you compared for the last year statistics, so top 35 countries globally, how many number of patents they are filing, you can compare. So it's like especially these from European statistics. So India is in the place top 35 companies. So that is a good thing to see. And if you see within the India, and what are the largest filing applicants, so obviously these are companies, so not individuals. You can see here, so a lot of all companies only in India, they are filing in a year how many number of patents they are filing within the India itself. So how do you acquire intellectual property? So when we are doing research work, how you acquire, how you get patents from the research work that you have. So quickly we will go through this process. First, we file the applications, which will give the complete specifications, the drawings, details, background claims, and abstracts, and all declaration of inventorship with all these details, different forms we will fill and file. There are 4 different patent offices in India based on our state. For example, Andhra Pradesh, it comes under Chennai jurisdiction. Therefore, Delhi, Kolkata, Mumbai, and Chennai. So we belong to Chennai patent office, Andhra Pradesh. So with respect to patent office, we can file directly. So you can go through agent, or we can directly file patent on your own also. That is not a big difficult process. Simply we can file on our own. Publishing in the Indian Patent Journal, that is the next step. And then we receive the first examination report after publication, like a journal paper comments. So like our invented work also is examined, and then we will receive first examination report. We submit the response to the first examination report. We justify what is the novelty in our patent, and we justify the comments raised by the examiners, and we submit. And if at all required, we may receive second examination report also. We'll address that. If still examiner is not satisfied with the responses, he may arrange one hearing also, online hearing. So we explain to the examiner what is the invention in our patent and what is the novelty online. And then based on the examiner's scrutiny, our patent will be granted or discarded. So this is the procedure of filing patents. So how you will file similar to the research area, identify the interested area, you carry out research work. If you get good results, you can file it and then you can go for publications. So similar to the research area. So in academics, you can use your students' project works. And I'm skipping these points. You can use your project works. You can use your research work if you're doing PhD. If you're using your own research work out of your interest, so the results out of the research works you can file a patent. So that's it. And before concluding, I would like to present a couple of examples. So here you can see two patents. We have many granted patents. Among them, two examples are interesting. So the first patent we published in 2015, but we granted in 2020. It took 5 years. But this work actually based on my research work. So we have developed one grain refined magnesium alloy for bone implant applications. We thought no way this is like an obvious research work, so this cannot be patented. But when we discussed with the IIT Madras patent cell, they suggested, why don't you patent this work? This is patentable. Then we applied, and then it took 5 years, of course, after examination report and online hearing, the grant. Another example you can see here, this is simple BTech project work. It's like, again, zinc-based medical implants. So it's just a part of BTech project work. And the same, with the same encouragement, what we have done before publishing, this small part of work, innovative work, we filed patent, and the patent was granted. See, sometimes we self-judge ourselves about the research work, the data that we have in our hand, and we miss a lot of opportunities. Another big example here, in 2016, I myself have developed one bioceramic material that is used for bone implant applications in especially dental filling applications. So calcium phosphate powder in market, 10 grams will be like around 2000 to 4000 rupees. But here with fish bones in our Krishna river, where we get these fish, and I produced the same bioceramic nano material just for 200 rupees. So see how innovative step we have in this. But with this excitement, immediately I published the paper in a very good journal as a short communication, top essay journal in 2016. But I missed the opportunity to publish as a patent. So if I filed a patent, so I might have acquired the rights of, we don't know which work will become commercially successful in coming days. So that's why, so I always suggest to don't self-judge ourselves, don't keep the data ourselves in our laptop or in our system. So first, you file the patent, let the examiner decide, let the examiner take the decision whether this is innovative work or not, patentable work or not. Let them decide. And then once we file the application, patent application, the next minute we can publish. No issue. So that won't be any problem. But if we publish the data that will become public, then we will lose the patentability. Or else we have to do some kind of bluffing, right, to escape that one. So genuinely, if you want to scientifically get the rights of the research work that we carry out, I always suggest you go for filing patents. Filing patent is a easy process. If you choose agents also nowadays, they charge some fee, and on behalf of us, they will draft all forms and they will file. If you want to file on our own, filing, examination, and publishing everything together, it will be like around 8,100 rupees government fee only. Online we can file on our own. We can fill the forms and we can publish patents. Then you can go for academic journal publications where to grow our profile. So this is how we can plan our academic research towards patenting and publishing. And with this, I'll conclude my presentation. And I wish you all the best, all of you, for more publications and patents in your career. And thank you very much for giving this opportunity, especially Dr. Samir Kumar. I know him very well for the past 6 years, and the other organizers and QS College. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, you're welcome.
Sir, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Sir. Yeah.
Dear participants, any queries?
Hello, sir. Hello.
Yes.
Sir, my doubt is whether is it possible to publish the same content in the paper journal publication after patenting the same
Yes,
content?
the same. Yes, exactly. You publish first as a patent, and the same content you can publish as a research paper also.
Sir, but if we file, it will take time, no, for patenting.
No, no, no.
So,
You no need to wait until you get the grant, until you get the license. So, for example, if today I complete my filing, okay, so it will be like
okay,
date
sir.
of filing will be 4th November 2025. Okay. Once if I have a date of filing officially, then on the same day itself I can submit to the journal,
Okay, sir.
right?
Okay, okay, okay. Thank you. Thank you. Okay,
Then
okay,
it,
sir.
it won't violate the, because we have already secured by filing. So my right will start not from the license granting of the license, the day of granting. So my right, patenting right, will start from the date of filing. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Therefore, if you file the next minute, you can publish. It won't be any problem.
Okay, sir. Okay, okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Yes. Yes.
Uh, my question is continuation to the question the sir asked. For example, I have published a paper.
Hmm.
Now, can I file patent? Within what time I can file it?
No, once you publish a paper, the same data you cannot file a patent, because examiner immediately will come to know, by patent examiners, they will come to know with your name what are the associated online documents, not only patent. For example, if you participate in any hackathon or any conference presentations, even full paper also you have not presented there, but some abstract or some content you posted online. If patent examiner comes to know that with your name that work is associated, then he will reject it by claiming that it is publicly disclosed. So what you can do, for the same work, if you have additional images or additional data, not the same data what you have used in the publication, yes, we can publish a patent after publishing in journal. How you can do? You have to use different set of data. For example, if I am doing, usually when I see the microstructures of one particular alloy that I developed, usually I take multiple images. So then what I will do, wisely I will select a different image that I have not used in the publication, and what I will frame my words differently. For example, in publications, I say magnesium alloy so and so. For example, magnesium alloy, magnesium aluminum alloy for so and so application. Something I mentioned in the publication. But here in my patent, I will write the word such that I don't mention magnesium or alloy, aluminum alloy. I mention like the two lightweight elements with a density of 1.74 to 2.2 gram per cc can be selected as the composition for this material. That means that statement includes the alloy of magnesium and aluminum. Since the density of magnesium is 1.74, aluminum density is 2.1. Therefore, the statement will justify these two elements. So that is how we escape in writing the claims of the patent. So this is what we should carefully work out once you publish it. So definitely you can try, you can publish, no problem. What these patent agents, commercial agents, what they will do, they will charge money from you, they will get these papers and they reframe the sentences so these sentences will not similarly match with the published content. So that is how they successfully push the patents. The same thing, if we know how to write properly rephrasing in English so that it will not match with the published content, then you can push it. So this exercise or this complex headache we can avoid if we choose in advance, for example. That's why. So in your case, since already have published, what you can do, you can choose different set of data that is not yet disclosed in the publication. Maybe some common points you will face problem. So such common points you rephrase, you rewrite, such that it will not exactly will be the same, but they convey the same meaning. That is how you should twist your claims. Okay, so then successfully you can file patents.
Okay, sir. There's a question in the comment box. Is it provisional filing or complete filing, after which we can submit the same content for paper publication?
No, don't go for provisional filing. See, provisional filing for whom? Usually companies, what they will do. For example, I invest crores of rupees in research. If I get some promising data or some research outcome related to my product, then what I will do in order to secure my right in advance compared with my competitors, other companies, immediately I go for provisional file. Then I will get 12 months time. So in this 12 months time, I will develop my process further, I will improve my product further, and again I will complete the process filing. Then it is complete filing. So that is for companies. So for us, always academicians, unless if we are in the process of developing systematically different technologies, add-on technologies, unless that is the case, but usually what we will do, we'll go for complete filing. We don't go for provisional filing, because after provisional filing, before 12 months, again you should submit the full complete filing. Therefore, we don't go for provisional filing. We choose complete filing only. So far, always we select, in my case, we always select complete filing. Therefore, if you file today with the complete filing option, the next day itself you can go for publication. Okay.
Okay, sir. So there's one more question. Like nowadays, people are filing design patents. What's
Yes.
the sanctity of it? Actually, whatever design that it comes to the mind, they are just putting in 3D diagrams and filing it. Whether
Yes.
it's considered as a patent or utility
Yeah.
patent is a patent, and this is just registration.
Yeah, actually, utility patent, it explains the functioning of the product also. Functioning of the product also. Then only we call utility patent. When it comes to design patent, simply one CAD drawing you can develop innovatively, that is different from existing, something like a bottle, new bottle design. You construct one new bottle, different design that is not available in the market now. You can file a design patent. So design patent is just very I think few hundred rupees you can finish design patent filing. Utility patent filing, it takes 8,100 only government fee, filing and examination and publishing. So you can see the difference. So design patent you can get within few months, even 3 months to 6 months also. Utility patent, it takes sometimes even 4 years also, 5 years also, if the examination is delayed. But when it comes to credibility, so utility patents are given more credibility compared with the design patents. But however, in the rankings, especially in the NAC, NBA, and other recognition rankings, so far, whether it is utility patent or design patent, marks are same. Even for promotion also, for example, in government system, in promotion also for patenting, the marks for design patent and utility patent are same. So far in India, design patent and utility patents are considered as similar. Therefore, the best thing is the design patent easy. Therefore, you can go for design patents just for points. And but when it comes to commerciality, or when it comes to the innovative step, utility patents have more weightage and more value. So far in the academics, for ranking point of view or for counting points, so whether design patent or utility patent, both are same. Both are have same weightage. Okay.
Sir, and I would like to add a few questions related to plagiarism aspects as well, sir, because most of the people go for paraphrasing with the advanced tools like ChatGPT and many more tools. So, can you give any comments on this regard?
Actually, now this became a big problem for publishers, because earlier any chat GPT or such kind of softwares if we use, artificial intelligence tools, there are now many artificial intelligence tools. So if you use to write the articles, to write the introduction, or to then copying that and using another paraphrasing software tools to humanize them, right? So to reduce the plagiarism. So these kind of works earlier, journal publishers uh, somehow they gave some limit, something like 20% limit, AI limit, or else if you are using any artificial intelligence tools, you should mention in the acknowledgements at the end why you are using it and where you have used it. Like that, they use it to specify the guidelines. But now what is happening? How the technology is developing in the artificial intelligence for assisting the research writing and also for assisting to humanize that copied content. Therefore, the AI softwares will not detect. So this is the objective behind the development of these humanized tools or latest artificial intelligence tools. At the same time, publishing companies also, they are spending crores of rupees in developing their inbuilt softwares, crores of rupees, because at the end, if they don't take seriously this issue, some other day people will come with some software tools where they will write the research paper in just one day, and then they copy that content and they will use the humanizing paraphrasing tools, and within 2 days they will finish the paper and they submit. And it will be a big challenge for publishers whether this is a genuine research work or simply created research work from AI tools. Then they will lose their credibility. Publishers, they will lose their credibility, and scientifically it is a big loss. Therefore, publishers also, they are spending huge amount differently. We believe that they cannot detect. No, they have even advanced tools. They are using it systematically. Therefore, sometimes what will happen, if they find such kind of paraphrasing or such kind of usage of tools, and simply they will reject it. Sometimes they don't tell any reasons also. Simply they will like reject and they say out of scope, or they give some kind of since we are receiving more volume of papers and more number of authors are submitting now to the journal, so in view of having this too much traffic, maybe your paper is not much related with the journal, therefore we regret to reject. So politely they reject the paper. Sometimes the reason is because that paper has a lot of AI content, AI generated content, or else a lot of human paraphrase software tools used content. Then those things are detected by the publishers. So this happened with the standard publishers. So when we go with the standard publishers, definitely when we use AI tools or human paraphrasing tools, they will detect and they will reject. Or after publishing also, now see the old papers are also now scrutinized by the AI tools from the publishers. Now they are retracting even the papers published 10 years back. If some research fraud or research writing fraud or some manipulation in the images or manipulation in the text content, or to escape the plagiarism, some kind of tricks if they play in the text, maybe published 5 years back, 10 years back. Now with this advanced tools publishers having with them, now they are retracting these papers who have been published earlier also. So now universities are taking very seriously these paper retraction. So that will affect the career of the faculty or the academician or the scientist. Therefore, we must be very careful. I suggest don't use these AI tools too much. Maybe, for example, if you are writing a research paper, a review paper, if you want to get some idea or the structure of the paper, if you want to get, you can take the help of the AI tools. But writing part, you take on your own. You try to write on your own. If you use AI tools, and publishers, they are like $1 billion business they are doing. They don't collapse because of these AI tools. Definitely they are pouring a huge amount of money to filter, to know the AI content in the submitted papers. So definitely not even today. maybe if it is not in today, maybe next year they will come to know that this paper is having some kind of AI assisted tools, content data, then they will retract it. If they retract it with that reason, that will be academically a big loss for us. Okay, so not now, slowly this is becoming in the scientific community and academics. So in coming days, if you have retracted papers, then they will keep us in blacklist. So all this kind of even, for example, if a PhD student has retracted paper, based on that paper, if PhD is awarded, the university will cancel his PhD degree. So that kind of lot of issues we will face. For example, if my student publish a paper, and based on that paper, maybe couple of papers, based on these two publications, if we get awarded a PhD, after 1 year or 2 years, if a publisher come to know that this paper is generated or this paper used AI content more than the limits they prescribed, if they retract this paper based on which my student got PhD, after 2 years or 3 years, the university is going to recall that degree. It's a big loss. Therefore, maybe what will happen? Maybe 1 month or 2 months or 3 months will be delayed in our publication. So in order to get fast publication by using these AI tools, unnecessarily don't ruin the entire academic life or the student's life. So that is my suggestion. We can use AI tools, but only to get ideas or to get the structure. But every sentence try to write on your own. When it comes to some periodic journals or some low substandard journals, because they do not have, these publishers do not have enough money to buy these softwares and to maintain these softwares, definitely there may be some advantage you will have. But in coming days, even all publications also will be scrutinized. Unknowingly, if you see this Stanford 2% scrutiny every year, now it is carried out by Scopus itself. Scopus is doing, Elsevier is doing it now. So if you consider that, they are scanning all the papers of every academician or every student, every faculty registered in the Scopus database. So in coming days, definitely they will scan every paper of every professional that is listed in the Scopus database, and no one can escape. So maybe this year it is good, but maybe next year it will create a problem. So that's why use to reduce the length of the paper or to reduce the plagiarism tools, but try to depend on your own skills. Don't miss those skills. We can use AI tools, but not at the level where completely our writing will be replaced with AI. So that will be a big problem for us in coming days. Okay. Sorry, I took a lot of time for this AI plagiarism.
Sir, thank you so much for the wonderful suggestions. Sir, my doubt is recently some of the journals are accepting you can use the generative AI for the grammatical errors to avoid the grammatical errors for the better sentence. What is your comment on this, sir?
Yes. If you are using it, that you should mention in the acknowledgement. They specify that if you are using, definitely you should mention the acknowledgement. For example, if you are using some AI tool, you should mention that AI tool for what purpose you have used. That you should mention in the acknowledgement. Okay. For example, in their scanning, if they find that the usage of that AI tool is limited to the purpose what you have stated in the acknowledgement, they won't take any action. But even though you mention in the acknowledgement the usage of tool for so and so purpose, but in the paper it reflects differently, then definitely they don't consider that even though you mention it, they don't consider and they will retract it. Okay.
Sir,
you can mention, you can use it.
Actually, the problem is earlier there is a different problem, but now from last 1 month, at least after writing the rough draft with our own own words for the better to avoid the grammar or better sentences, if you use the chat GPT just for only for avoid the grammars, but Turnitin shows it is showing 100% AI detection.
No, 100% detection means somewhere that content was already available online. Generated by AI.
At least 70. Plagiarism is less, sir. Normal plagiarism is below 50%, but around it is showing 60% AI detection, like that. Even though we are using avoid the grammars or better sentence corrections, it is showing like that, sir. What is your comment?
This is a big problem now. That's why journals they keep usually each standard journal they keep 20% is the limit for AI content. Okay, so they also know that even though I write on my own also, sometimes that will be matched with the AI written statements. Therefore, sometimes mistakenly they will give some percentage in connection with AI content. That's why this point journals also they understood and they kept 20% is the limit. But if it is going beyond 20%, we cannot do anything. Journal cannot do anything. We have to reduce it. It's like earlier plagiarism only. So they kept a limit of 20% plagiarism means even though sometimes I write on my own, it may go beyond 30 also sometimes. So I cannot say no, I have written on my own, but it is showing 30 like that. Even though again I should reduce it to less than 20 because that is the standard minimum allowable plagiarism content 20% they mentioned. So similar, the same thing we apply here even for AI also. Even if it is coming 70%, there is no way we have to reduce less than 20% since journal specified by 20%. But most of the times now the AI tools also have evolved. I don't think they give that much AI matching content unless we clearly generate it with AI. Because I have seen some because recently we have edited one book also, a lot of chapters we have gone through. So some chapters where they created the chapter with AI and then they have used paraphrasing tools like Philbot and some other softwares and they reduced AI content less than 20. So when we verify them, the changes are not that much significant, but by using paraphrase tooling successfully they reduce less than 20% and we surprised. But anyways, as per norms, this 20% AI we accepted and we forwarded. So since even using paraphrasing tool also you are getting less than 20% means I don't think AI will detect and will give you 70% if we write on our own. You got my point, right? So there must be something you verify once again.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Sir,
Yes,
what are
yes.
the some practical ways to improve our Google citation count?
No, the important question, how to increase citations. These days, everybody is after citations. The practical, this thing is open access. Publish your articles in open access journals. So people, when they cite, if they find your paper free of cost online, obviously they will download and they will read and they will cite in their papers, right? So therefore, if it is subscription mode, most of the organizations they cannot pay money and they cannot download. Therefore, they give less citation. So even the statistics also shows 3 to 4 times higher citations we will get if you publish in open access. But the problem is open access journals they charge more money. Therefore, there are some open access journals. They give you offers like complete APC waive off for 6 months or 3 months for 2025 December, like that. If you find any such opportunities, you can publish in open access journals. Okay, that is first thing. Sometimes it will be difficult also. Now there is one scheme I heard recently, One Nation One Subscribe ONOS scheme in India. So they have some journals, not all journals, some journals. So they will publish the APC. So we can publish Indians only who are working in India. They can publish free of cost in open access journals. So you can check those journals. So if you publish in open access journals, definitely you will get more citations. The second thing is, for example, if I am working in robotics, the journals which are dealing with robotics are very few, and the research community who works in robotics and publish in robotics journals are also very few. That means the impact factor of journals also, if you find robotics, very, very less. At the same time, if you are working in polymers or chemical engineering, chemistry, or material science, right? So such kind like energy systems, energy, renewable energy, or water treatment, such kind of areas like cancer treatment in medical field. Globally, the research teams which work in these areas are more. The research publications and the journals also very, very high. The impact factors for these journals also very high. Therefore, obviously, you will get more citations, more visibility. The first thing is open access journals. The second thing is research area. What is the research area you want to work on? So if you want to work on some kind of control systems for robot controlling or some automation, you don't get much journals, and the citations are very less, since the impact factor journals are very less, and very people only working in that area. But if you choose some area where most of the people are working, like now it is like AI, machine learning. You take any discipline, you will see AI, machine learning. So if you work in AI and machine learning and you publish some papers, it's like more visibility and you will get more citations. So if you are new, if you are planning to select some research area, better to choose widely known research areas and you will get more citations. Okay. If you're already working it, try to implement those concepts in your research area, then that will increase the citations. Otherwise, don't keep this practice like cite all your papers in your next paper. That is a bad example. Now journals are also questioning it should not be more than 20% self-citation. When it comes to journal metrics, they are removing the self-citation numbers. Okay. Therefore, unless it is required, don't cite your all previous. For example, if I have previous 30 papers, if I have 60 references in my current paper, don't keep 30 papers in my current paper. Right? So it comes under self-citation. So it will be a bad practice. In coming days, it will be reflected in our profile also. They will remove self-citation and then only they will calculate the H index. It will come in a very, very near future. So don't self-cite unless it is necessary, unless it is required. So now I write a lot of papers. In all my papers, maximum I keep 3 or 4 only from my earlier works. Out of my 150 papers, I keep only 3 or 4. Even though recently for one journal, the editor given a comment that in your references you have cited many your papers. Is it necessarily for every paper why you have cited? Give the explanation. Then for every reference I cited my old paper, I have given one justification. This paper I cited because in this paper we have first time shown this technique. Therefore, the same technique we are using, now it is essential to cite that paper. That is the reason why I am citing my previous paper. Like that, all 4 papers I have given justifications and I submitted mail. See now how tough this is becoming. Earlier it is like if you cite 10 times your own papers, nobody cares. But now self-citation also is a big issue. Therefore, don't cite on your own. Maybe you can request your friends. You give your papers to your friends and you ask them to cite. Okay, that is okay unofficially. But self-citation is not possible. So open access and choosing a widely visible area is another thing. Another thing is in every paper, try to present some summary table, something like in previous so others have worked in this area in the introduction part. You keep on table. What will happen sometimes others they would like to refer some paper. In such cases, they may cite your paper because your paper has some consolidated data. So in order to avoid more number of citations, sometimes others they select such kind of papers where we have one consolidated data of already published papers. That is another technique. So you give some summary in the form of a table in the introduction about the earlier works. Therefore, some others they cite your paper. So these are the some suggestions where you can increase your citations. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Ratnasun sir, on behalf of all the participants, I thank you very much for accepting our request and to be as an eminent speaker in this 60 days ATAL FDP program. Once again, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Samir sir, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Happy to participate in this talk. And I wish you all the best for all of you. Thank you very much. So shall I leave?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
My dear